And welcome back to another episode of the PH Factor. Glad to share more stories and information about Project Home and some of the organizations we work with. And in this case, talk about some of the groups that work with us and are kind of a piece of Project Home that people might not know about. So we bring in one of the experts to tell us about that. That is Caitlin Singleton over at Prairie Crossing Apartments. Caitlin, good morning. Thanks for being involved, and thanks for talking to us today to tell people about Prairie Crossing.
Good morning, Jason. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk about Prairie Crossing Apartments. It's a really special program that Project Home has.
So tell people a bit about what the apartments are and how they were established.
Project Home purchased Prairie Crossing Apartments. It's located on the west side of Madison in the Allied Drive neighborhood. It is a 6-building, 48-unit complex, one of those units being the on-site management office. We are a affordable, subsidized housing property, multifamily property. We are a Section 42 tax credit property. We also have 20 subsidized units. We have a partnership with the CDA of Madison. So when I say subsidized, I mean they are project-based voucher units, meaning that when someone moves in, they are enrolled in as they are a participant, in the Section 8 program, the project-based voucher program. Those units rent is 30% of a household's income. Our other 27 units are not subsidized, but they will be below market rate. So right now, for example, we have all 2-bedroom, 1-bath units. The rent is $790 a month, all utilities except for electricity included. So in Dane County and Madison, $790 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit, it is far below market rent.
So let's talk a little bit about the people that live at Prairie Crossing, because I think it's really interesting to have. It's just like the customers for Project Home. It's everybody. It's a mixture of all different types of families, all different age groups, but really because we're trying to assist people that are in a certain income bracket, we get a great mix of people, and it makes up an interesting community.
Yeah, we are a very, very diverse community. And I think that's one of the aspects that makes Prairie Crossing so great. First and foremost, there is income limits to living at Prairie Crossing. So at move-in time, a household has to be at or below 60% area median income. We serve clients as low as 0% area median income, all the way up to right now, we currently have households that can reach up to 80% area median income. Generally, it's below 60% area median income. We are a good reflection of the larger Madison community. We have a variety of households from all over the world, all races, ethnicities we serve. So it is a really good, like I said, reflection of the larger community and how diverse Prairie Crossing is.
Tell people a little bit about the history, about roughly how many people have benefited from having this housing option.
We have served many, many families. However, we do have many long-term tenants. We currently have a waiting list. Right now we have over 300 families on our waiting list, but it's an open waiting list. We will accept people as they call or walk in at any time.
I think that's great to know for people too, that important to get on the waiting list if this is something that you might be interested in, or if it's a housing option that you want to pursue. So, but again, I think it's kind of the situation across the community, across many areas of the country. We're doing our best, but we can't fully meet all the needs of everyone. So again, for people to kind of apply now, if they're interested, is do it as soon as you can. Caitlin, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the apartments themselves. So tell us a little bit more about the apartments, and they were recently renovated too. So that's got to be a nice thing for all the tenants there.
Yeah, we just underwent a really big remodel of the entire property. So just last year, all of our kitchens and bathrooms were fully remodeled. So everything is brand new in those kitchens and bathrooms. It was a very big project. We also replaced a lot of our major equipment, such as the boilers, air conditioners, and so forth. And we will be completing some exterior repairs as this year and next year go on. One of the really special parts of Prairie Crossing is it is more than just housing. We pride ourselves in being affordable, safe, reliable housing. However, we do have other programs at Prairie Crossing that make it really special. So we have an on-site resident services coordinator. He is a part-time caseworker. He works on site at Prairie Crossing, and he develops different programs for our families. All the programs are optional. Families do not need to participate. Some of the programs that he works on, we have an on-site food pantry that tenants can come to Monday through Friday whenever the office is open. And that really serves what in that neighborhood is kind of a food desert, with grocery stores being farther away. So we have an on-site food pantry where tenants can get anything from food to household products to toiletries. And it is a really popular program that we currently have and have had for the last few years. We have community gardens on site as well. So residents can reserve a plot, and during the gardening season, they can garden however they would like and however much they would like to. We also have various events throughout the year. One of our big ones that will be coming up in September is a back to school supplies drive. So all of our residents that are going to school from pre-K to even college, they will have all of their school supplies ready in the office to pick up. So we try to lessen the burden on the families that live there through events like the school supplies drive. We have other events that are seasonal. We usually have a summer barbecue with residents as a community building event. During, Halloween, we have a Halloween party for residents. In Thanksgiving time, we give away Thanksgiving baskets to our residents if they haven't signed up elsewhere. Over the holidays, we have gifts for residents for holiday gifts. So the programs that we offer go far beyond housing.
I love the community gardens aspect too. I know that's something that people can really get into, especially now with the spring and summer coming on. And that's just a great opportunity, to grow some of your own food and see that process through. That's a wonderful addition to the facility too. I want to show people a little bit how easy this can be. To find out more information, you can head to projecthomewi.org, and if you just scroll down a little bit here, right here is affordable housing, and you can see and you can learn more about Prairie Crossing right here on this page. Caitlin, there's also another building that Project Home and Complex that Project Home operates, and we'll touch a little on that too. Rodney Shielhouse is another one of the housing issues or housing areas of Project Home that we have available. So tell people a little bit about Rodney Shielhouse.
Sure. So Rodney Shielhouse is another special program that Project Home offers. Project Home is the main owner of Rodney Shielhouse, as it is for Prairie Crossing. Rodney Shielhouse is governed by a board of directors who are a board of directors for the Rodney Shielhouse Foundation. The Rodney Shielhouse is a Section 811 subsidized property. So every unit of the 23 units on the property are subsidized. In order to qualify to live at Rodney Shielhouse, someone in the household has to have been diagnosed with HIV or AIDS. And that is one of the qualifications in living at Rodney Shielhouse. Similar to Prairie Crossing, we also have a resident services coordinator who has an on-site office, and he's actually part-time at both properties. So he's at Prairie Crossing some days of the week and at Rodney Shielhouse other days. We have a food pantry. We have a community room with a computer that allows tenants to use the computer for whatever needs, job applications, resumes, recertifications, whatever it might be. And we also have other events similar to Prairie Crossing at Rodney Shielhouse. We also have a garden, which is also very popular at Rodney Shielhouse for residents to take part in.
So those are two very different housing initiatives connected to Project Home, but really important ones and important pieces of our operation as a local nonprofit that we wanted to help introduce to people here this month on the episode. Caitlin, when you talk about some of the people who are especially, turning our attention back to Prairie Crossing, some of the people who live there, some of the people who apply to live there, I mean, having a set amount for your rent and heating bills and energy bills, like how much of a benefit is that? Because, these are people really struggling financially sometimes in tough situations, but, they're not going to end up with all of a sudden in the wintertime having a $200-300 energy bill that's in excess of their regular monthly cost is. And those can really weigh people down over the winter. So I love that set amount with heat included. I think it's really important.
It is really important. Prairie Crossing and at Rodney Shielhouse, our goal is to provide stable housing and long-term housing. So it's not really one of those short-term housing programs that a family moves in and then they move out quickly. We are there for the long term. Our programs that we offer, we look at not just the housing, but how can we help lessen the burden for these families so that they can maintain stable housing. I think how things have gone for the last 10 years at Prairie Crossing really is a testament to how important it is to have these other programs, such as a resident services coordinator, and such as these events, such as a food pantry. So families don't have to feel the burden of all these other bills that can sometimes result in risking housing. We have not had to file a single eviction at Prairie Crossing in over 10 years. That is very rare. That does not happen in the housing industry as a whole, and especially in multifamily housing. It is because of the different programs we offer as well. It's because of the lower rent rate, the set costs, and just working with families. When a family has an issue, we work with them and we try to resolve it before it results in housing instability.
That's great to hear. So as we talked about how the properties operate, we know that, there's certain money supporting them in a number of ways, but there are also ways the community can help support Prairie Crossing and Rodney Shielhouse. So tell people a little bit about, opportunities for them to help out and make sure that these two properties are viable and available for people in our community.
Yeah, so helping out is really easy. There are a few ways that someone can go about if they're interested. The first way is going to Project Home's website. There is a tab for donation. You would just click either Prairie Crossing or Rodney Shielhouse, and that money will get to us and to our resident services coordinator to continue the really great work that he is doing. So that's one way, electronically online. Other ways that people can donate is reaching out to us. Our phone number is on the website, and giving us a call. We do accept in-kind donations. Gas gift cards, for example, is another item that we are looking for right now. Gas is really difficult for our tenants to purchase, and getting to work is important. Getting kids to school or childcare is important. So that is one item that we are seeking throughout the year. But if you're interested in any of our events, such as the Back to School Supplies Drive, reach out to us, and we are happy to work with you.
That's Caitlin Singleton over at Prairie Crossing Apartments, also telling you a bit about Rodney Shielhouse. She's done a lot of great work for Project Home through those properties, and we appreciate everything you do, Caitlin, for us, and also for telling people about the both properties today and telling them how they can get involved.
Thank you so much, Jason, for having me on today to talk about these two properties.
All right, we'll hear more from Caitlin as we come up, and keep an eye on our socials too, because a goal of ours here in 2022 is really incorporate all of Project Home, including Prairie Crossing, including Rodney Shielhouse, to tell those stories throughout the year so we can tell the community about great things that we're doing in all areas. And Caitlin's a big part of that. Caitlin, thanks for everything. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you.